HB 256 relating to coffee labeling requires coffee blend labels to disclose regional origins and percent by weight of the blended coffees, prohibits using geographic origins of coffee in labeling or advertising for roasted or instant coffee that contains less than 51% coffee by weight from that geographic origin. Okay. As usual, our first testifier is Scott Enright, Hawaii Department of Agriculture, with comments only.
That's correct, Chair. The department stands on its written testimony and open comments.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Representatives. This is a long-standing bill. First and foremost, I'm Roger Kaivi. I represent the Kona Coffee Council. We're approximately 200 farmers strong. Kona Coffee is not only my job and my life, it is in my blood. We've done this year in, year out for second generation. So this is very near and dear to us. We have a really thriving industry. The farm gate values are as high or higher than they've ever been before, and we're trying to add additional rules that will not help our industry. Originally, I was going to stand on my testimony this morning, but when I walked up to get my cup of coffee, I walked into the shop and I found a mislabeled coffee bag. We cannot police what we have already, and we're trying to place more rules upon us. What concerns me is we're going to be like dairy and eggs, and we're going to put enough rules on ourselves to put ourselves out of business. I'd like to kill this bill while we can and move on to more positive things like CBP control and labor issues.
So my question is, Hawaii Kona Coffee Council, 200 members strong. What is the impacts to these two? Are they family coffee farms that have, grown to the scale of really? I see opposition heavily by you guys. What is the impacts to those farms?
So these are the silent majority. These are the folks that are not vertically integrated. These are the folks that rely on selling coffee cherry to processors such as myself and get paid in a timely manner to enable to do it again. One of the best things about my job is I get to meet and greet the people that I put through college, help build homes and have families. With this bill that goes through, it requires a 51% blend. If, for instance, we'll lose McDonald's, all the hotels, and all the restaurants, these people will no longer be able to sell their product. And I can no longer have that testimony to say that I can help them through the rest of their lives.
So I look at like Molokai Coffee, and they have like New Skinner. And, I'm not really a heavy coffee drinker, but they also have blends. And, for me, it's like, do you have one line that does carry 100% of your coffee, or is it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you give people an option to choose.
Yes, and and we were first and foremost we helped initiate the original label change, so there was no confusion, so that the consumer can walk up to a bag of coffee and see 10% Kona Coffee blend and a price which was considerably lower than the 100% Kona Coffee at $35.99. And for instance, I'm going to give you the price. It's like $4.99 in Walmart, if you will. So the consumer can understand exactly what they're purchasing. And at the end of the day, normally they vote with their wallets.
So does the bulk of your consumer base, are they more prone to go to the 100%? Or are they more prone to basically say, I like take a piece of Hawaii back with me to the...
Amen. Yeah, so if we're looking for omayagis and makanas, most folks want to take a piece of Hawaii back with them at affordable prices. So therefore, if they have a family of 12, to buy 12 100% Kona coffees is a little bit outrageous, but to go back home with 12 Kona blends is something that's considerably easier to do.
Okay, yeah, because I know when I travel, I'm like, I'm a miser too, but...
Amen.
So, would this cripple your company?
It would definitely cripple our company. Again, not just with sales at the store level. Again, McDonald's is running our 10% blend and doing an excellent job with it. It's a fabulous coffee. All the hotel chains were probably 80-85% into that range with our 10% blend. The Restaurant Association as well.
Okay. Thank you, Roger.
Bless you.
Thank you, Chair.
Well, any other questions from our members?
So I noticed you offered comments. but yet I see you also have the approach to labeling proposed is based on truth in labeling and requires greater disclosure on the information presented. Like elaborate that for me a little.
There's where to start on this one. Roger Kaivi is correct. We take this issue up on an annual basis. The Hawaii Department of Agriculture, recognizes that the coffee industry statewide is many different things. The original Kona coffee growers were Japanese farmers on marginal lands, and they've aged out, and those farms have been taken over by others. Those farms can't be mechanized. It's hard controlling coffee berry borer. The new farmers that have come in the Kona are, have come with, wealth, so they can purchase the land and they can set it up, and they're vertically integrated, so they sell online. And, that's why they're looking for 100%. Then we have the coffee industry spread out across the state. What it is in Maui is different than what it is on Molokai or Oahu or Kauai. And so we work with them all. And our Quality Assurance Division and its administrator, Jerry Kahana, who's been doing this for 36 years, I believe, has worked closely with the coffee industry to maintain quality controls.
So you'd consider this, like when we had the debrief yesterday with Gov, as part of our doubling of food production? Is this included with part of our doubling of food production?
I'm going to need to put it in there, Vice Chair. It's a food.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Again, the comments I'd made before about on the past bill actually apply to this bill, which were that the Hawaii County Council supported this issue, as well as the State Central Committee and the Democratic Party put it into their platform. Okay. Any other questions from our members? Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Roger. Is the objection in your mind more, it sounds to me like it's not so much an objection to the required labels that disclose origins and the percent of those origins, but rather the 51%? Is that?
Well, actually, it's both, because what they're asking us to do is put our recipe on the side of the bag. We've been quite successful. So, for instance, you're not going to buy a frozen Swanson dinner and have them tell you their competition how they prepared that, so they can turn around and beat them with that.
Well, actually, I think every product of food has the ingredients listed by amount, or at least the ingredients have to be listed by, the biggest, first, second, third, fourth, etc. So why wouldn't that?
Again, it's never applied to coffee before.
Yeah.
The percentage of the blend itself is an economic issue. The labeling, we worked long and hard with the Department of Ag to make sure that was as forthcoming as possible. We changed the font size and everything for this.
I guess, so when I buy a bottle of red, say a Meritage, California Meritage, and it'll disclose, 12%, Cabernet from Sonoma County, 23% this from that, and that's kind of nice as a consumer.
Sure.
Isn't that? Why do you think that would be harmful? Just to have that set aside. Let's assume for a second.
Sure.
We set aside having to have 51%.
So part of that reason is if you follow the stock market, for instance, they have a Brazil frost or Guatemala has a shortage. I use a particular blend. However, there are times when I cannot use that blend because it's not available. So now I got to go back through, buy extra film, change all that. It's a really,
you got to change the labeling.
It's onerous.
The markets.
Yes, extremely onerous.
I see.
It's difficult. And imagine a vertically integrated farmer who went and bought 1,000 bags because he got a great deal. Now he's got to go out and spend, or she has to go out and spend an extra $500 for a new label.
Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions from our members? Okay, that concludes the questioning on that bill.